Hi, I'm Carol Jurgensen-Sheets, aka Carol the Coach. And I am not only an individual therapist, a certified sexual addictions therapist, a clinical certified partner trauma specialist, I am also a marital therapist that helps with communication and helps with healing the wounds. That's why I got into this business, because I'm telling you, there is no greater wound than the wound that occurs because of sexual addiction. You know, it's one thing to be cheated upon, but it's another thing when your partner has repeatedly acted out and betrayed you. Now, what I know to be true is that it's important for you to look at your spouse's behavior and decide, is he or she really working at making things right? Let's just call him a he, for simplicity's sake. Is he working a recovery program? Is he really trying to put himself in your shoes? Well, it's no secret that I'm writing an empathy book. And one of the things that I find the most powerful is that couples need to work on a formula for empathy. I call it the AVR. That stands for awareness and acknowledgement, validation of feelings, and reassurance, so that you know that if somebody is using this formula with you, they're acknowledging the pain they caused, they're validating your feelings, and they are looking for ways to reassure you. Now, if you are a partner, I know you really don't want to believe that this is happening because you're tired of being duped. You're tired of being lied to. You're tired of being misled. But hopefully you and the sex addict are in good couples counseling. And I'm going to tell you both. This formula is not just for the addict to use, it's also for the partner. Because here's what I know to be true, and again, I don't want to offend you. You've been through so much as a partner of sexual addiction. You have been lied to. You have been cheated. You have been betrayed. And yet, that anger, that mistrust, that experience also makes you lash out in the most inappropriate ways. You know, it's almost like you're protecting yourself because you don't want to get hurt again. And I get that, but I'm going to ask both of you to use this formula. So let's play this out. Let's start out with something very simple. I had a young couple that just had a baby, and he was not coming to the plate to take care of his child. And she understandably thought to herself, you know, I've been through so much with you. The least you can do is pay attention to me, take care of our children, fulfill some of the responsibilities around this house. And as a result, he felt inadequate, inferior, and like he didn't measure up. He felt those feelings because his father had done that to him as a young boy. And because his father had done that, he went right to that place, and that's not healthy. So the first thing I asked him to do in the middle of his criticism, while she was berating him, I said, you know, I want you to use the empathy formula with her. I want you to acknowledge how badly she must be feeling, validate her feelings, and reassure her that you've got her back. And so together, he and I worked on a way to do that he could really fulfill. And he basically said to her, you know, I acknowledge that I owe you so much, and I have been the worst husband in the world. and not a very good father because of my sexual addiction. The part he didn't say is, but I'm trying really hard and I need you to give me some grace. But he didn't say that, and that's good. So the next thing he says is, and I want to validate that I know that you mistrust me, you're angry, you're hurt, you're sad, and I understand why you'd feel those feelings. It's another disappointment in your life that I have contributed to. And then here was his reassurance. And if you'll give me another chance, I will make it a special point to take care of things for the next 7 days and show you that I know how to show up for our house, for our family, and for you. Now, you know what she did? She looked at me and she said, he can't do it to the degree I need him to. He can't. And I said, you know, you're probably right. I don't know that anybody could do it to the degree that you can do it, because I've got to tell you, she has her stuff together. She is concise. She is organized. He is none of those things. But you know what? Minus the sexual addiction, they'd be fighting about this anyway. It just wouldn't hurt so much, because clearly she has been wounded beyond belief, and this is just one more thing that piles on to their trouble. So I said, will you give him a chance to see if he at least steps it up? Progress, not perfection. And she said, absolutely. All right. Now, here's what I wanted her to do. I wanted her to use that formula with him. He already said, I feel inadequate. I feel inferior. I don't feel I measure up. I feel like I'm dealing with the feelings that I had with my father. So she acknowledged. She said to him, you know I came down on you awfully hard, and I made you feel like a screw-up as a husband and a father. And I want to acknowledge that I know you must have been feeling very bad, very sad, and probably also mad. But what I want to tell you is that I have been hanging in there with you, and I'm going to continue to hang in there with you. I'm going to want to see if we can work this thing together. Because Carol assures me that in healthier relationships, conflict breeds intimacy. And what she tells us is, even though we've been through so much drama and trauma, we really are getting healthier. Okay, this was a couple that put into place a communication process that really helped them. And I want you to try it too. Again, it's called the AVR. Awareness and acknowledgement, validation, and reassurance. And when you do that, I promise you that not only do you feel better about your communication, it shows really healthy interaction. But it also, it consolidates the teamwork that the two of you need to get past the addiction, to get past the trauma, and to rebuild your relationship. That's my promise to you. I am Carol Jurgensen-Sheets, a.k.a. Carol the Coach, and I will see you for more sex help with Carol the Coach, both on internet radio through Blog Talk Radio. You can find me on iTunes, and also right here. I'm available for consultation just to kind of help you work through things. I want to give you some hope, strength, and recovery. And I also give you rigorous honesty. If I don't think there's a chance that one of you can do the work, I'll tell you, wow, this feels really overwhelming for me. Because I don't want to mislead anybody, and I want to be rigorously honest. So in the meantime, have a good week. Try this formula out, and try it several times. It is probably one of the hardest formulas to utilize, but one of the most beneficial. Have a great week.